Back at it again, and once again, it seems the media has been playing cover for this administration once again. But what a shocking surprise, right? But I've got some reasons why I actually kind of like it. Stick around to find out why. But before we hop into it, hit that like button, all right? And if you would like to help this video out even further, share it. It's the arrow button down below. You can copy the link and send it to anyone you like, or you can also watch more of the video because, you know, due to YouTube's algorithm, the more of the video you watch, the more YouTube pushes the video out. So, hey, if you have some free time, stick around until the very end, all right? I would greatly appreciate it. But, hey, I appreciate you tuning in regardless. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that being said, let's dive in.
Media going all in on that Russian rebellion, giving the perfect excuse to ignore those damning Hunter Biden WhatsApp messages that appear to implicate President Biden's role in the family corruption scheme. The Sunday shows on the network spending 39 plus minutes on the Wagner Group and not a bit, no coverage at all of the Hunter messages. The one time Hunter was mentioned, Democrat Senator Amy Klobuchar shrugged off any concerns about him. Watch.
Do you think it was appropriate for Hunter Biden to be at the same event as the Attorney General Merrick Garland was in the same week he accepted a plea deal?
You know, I think as the president explains, that's his son. That's a separate thing. If that's what the Republicans want to run on in the coming election, good luck, because the president is going to be able to run on the strength of his work in bringing 13 million jobs back to America.
But House
Back to America? You mean jobs that had only closed because of the beer bug? Anyway. Goodness gracious.
Republicans are promising to take action and further investigate the Biden family's business deals, and that could lead to a possible impeachment of President Biden.
We have a whistleblower come forward and says they were denied information that they should have had. Hunter Biden got special treatment, preferential treatment, and they ran this case in a ridiculous way.
And this is a cover-up now at the Department of Justice, and I also believe at the White House. This is a travesty for our country.
Are you moving to impeach this president?
Well, this could be. We have to do our own investigation. We have to be better than the left. We have to have all the evidence, the dots connected, has to go through committee, through judiciary.
All right, you heard it there. Let's go around the horn. Lisa, you got 3 Republicans there, Nancy Mace, Jim Jordan, Byron Donalds, talking impeachment. What do you think?
Well, I mean, look, I believe it should happen in the House. I mean, Joe Biden's corrupt. We know this. We know that he was involved in his son's business dealings, that he lied to America, which is no surprise because he's probably one of the most prolific liars in, political American history. But we don't have the 2/3 vote in the Senate to convict, so it's not going to go anywhere. But I saw this side-by-side comparison on Twitter, and one image was Daniel Penny getting arrested for daring to engage in self-defense, daring to try to save passengers on that train. And then the side-by-side was Hunter Biden in a tux at a state dinner after getting a slap on the hand, including for a federal gun charge, that over 94% of the cases have a median prison sentence of or convictions in over 94% of the cases with a median prison sentence of 39 months. And if that doesn't show you where we are today as a society and a country, I don't know what does. But I think what scares me even more than that is just how corrupt our Department of Justice and the FBI are, including in election interference, which they've engaged in both 2016 and 2020.
So allegedly. But you know what? I'm actually really happy this is happening. That the media is covering up this story, because a lot more people are paying attention to how the media is covering certain things and what's actually happening behind the scenes. A lot more people are becoming aware of this little tactic that mainstream media, does a lot more. And I talked about this yesterday. I've seen more and more videos of people saying, hey, while we were distracted by the submarine, did you guys hear about this? Did you guys hear about that? Did you guys hear about this? And they're destroying their own reputations day by day by doing stuff like this. And the quicker we can get terrible media out of the equation, the quicker we can make sure that they have zero trustworthiness, the quicker we can get back to regular or a better life here in America, in my estimation. Because when you have the mainstream media lying to folks and covering up things, that is a problem. That is a problem. yes, we all have freedom of speech. Yes, we can all do what we want. But I feel like as the media, you shouldn't be engaged in that kind of stuff. Me personally. And I think them falling off and exposing themselves as corrupt and terrible organizations is just great for the country. It's just great for the country because more and more people get woken up to the truth all the time. And I'm happy that that allegedly, our Department of Justice is very corrupt and, is really trying to cover for Hunter and just give him a little tap on the wrist when other people would have gotten a different sentence because it exposes the truth. People are aware and are being made aware more and more of this every single day. So the more that they try to do it now, the more it's going to backfire on them later, in my humble opinion. Now, is it terrible? Yes, of course. But I feel like now people are like super hyper focused on this kind of stuff. And it would almost be better if they stopped doing this stuff, a year ago and just went quiet for a while. Just went quiet, right? No corruption, no covering up stories, no trying to distract people from anything. They just went silent and just did what they were supposed to do for a while. Laid low, let everybody let their guard down, and then they quietly in the shadows started doing it again. But they couldn't help themselves. They kept doing it and are still doing it while people are fully aware of what's going on. So it only exposes them more. So listen, that's why I don't think it's a terrible idea, but that's just me. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section, please.
Let's just show, Kat, I want to put on our screen for anyone that hasn't seen it, this WhatsApp message. This all comes from an IRS whistleblower on WhatsApp. Hunter Biden is writing to a Chinese businessman that he deals with saying, quote, I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, that's the guy's name, Zhao, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows and my ability to forever hold a grudge that you will regret not following my direction, I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. Kat, if we change names here, and this was the previous administration, and this was Donald Trump Jr., do you think that the networks would devote a few minutes to it?
Probably, but I would say yes. But I would also say what's really remarkable about both Hunter and Joe Biden is how they seem to have turned their weaknesses into a strength, at least in terms of avoiding accountability, right? Because people look at that text, we've already heard people saying, oh, that's just a crackhead being a crackhead. He's a crackhead saying crackhead stuff. And the same with Joe Biden is people don't want to actually push him on these things because they're like, he won't, it's hard to interview him. He'll just babble. He'll call you a dog-faced pony soldier, whatever. So nobody presses him on anything. Yeah. So things that actually maybe you should be critical of, he is strong in his weakness because people don't ask him hard questions. People don't ask him any questions. And if they do ask him questions and he blatantly lies or makes an answer that doesn't make sense, people are just like, that's just Joe being Joe, rather than actually don't feel like they can actually push him on anything. And nobody does.
Well, I mean, it's very hurtful to be called a dog face.
Absolutely. I don't know how you move on from that.
Whatever that means.
All right. Next time. We're out of time, David.
Yeah. And last thing before I let you guys go. Thank you for watching to this point. I greatly appreciate you guys. Like I said, it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Watching these videos to the end really, really does help. So thank you so much. But back to my point. I think Republicans are making a big mistake. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it. I want Joe on that ticket. I don't want anybody else. I want Joe Biden on that ticket versus Trump. We've already gotten the polls. Now, of course, once again, here's the media trying to spin the story. The media is always pushing the story that Trump's going to lose to Joe. Trump's going to lose to Joe. They pull out the two polls. Now, I showed you guys the video. I showed you guys all of the polls. Harvard Harris, Rasmussen, the YouGov. There was like 2 or 3 other ones as well that were all listed with their dates, the point spread and everything. Joe Biden won 2 out of like 6. 2 out of 6. There was a third one where he was tied, and then there was like 3 where Trump won like +5 or 6, where Joe was winning like +3 or 4. And the 2 that he won, and then like I said, there was a tie, and then Trump was +5 or 6, and overall Trump was like +2.5. You know, in aggregation when you combine everything up. So they always show the polls where Joe is winning, but never the polls where Trump is clearly winning and winning outside of the margin of error. Joe, when the polls that had Joe winning, it's like 4 or less, which I think is inside the margin of error. Trump was always outside of that in the polls that he won. So that's always really, really, really interesting. So I want Joe on that ticket. I don't want anybody else. If you lock Joe up, if you throw Joe in jail, if you get him out of his seat, Joe's not going to be on that ticket. That's not what I want to see. I don't want to see Kamala, Michelle, or Gavin Newsom, who obviously we know these folks can't run a country. They can't. But somebody like Gavin Newsom can talk like he could. He has the charisma. You guys have seen and heard, I'm sure you guys have seen and heard his speeches before. He speaks with conviction. And of course, we still have some people sleepwalking amongst us. So you don't want that type of situation. And I don't think Republicans are really thinking this through. This is what frustrates me about Republicans. It almost seems like there's no strategy. There's zero strategy. There's zero thinking this all the way through. There's zero, what's the end game? Okay, you kick Joe Biden out of the office. What's the end game? Oh, now you have a tougher opponent. Excuse me. Now you have a tougher opponent. Well, whoop-de-doo, Sherlock. Congratulations. You played yourself. You played yourself. Michelle Obama and Gavin Newsom would be a tougher opponent to beat than Joe Biden. That is a fact. That is a fact that I think. Do I have any evidence to back that up? No, but I feel like it's common sense. It's common sense. Joe, I was in the potatoes. Come on, like really, you go put that kind of Joe on stage? Really? Like that's gonna win? Along with his track record now as after being president, you gonna put that on stage? Versus somebody like Michelle Obama, which we know the Obamas were loved by a lot of people, including myself at one point in time when I was a Democrat. Okay, yes, I know, I'll admit to it. Whatever. Along with somebody like Gavin Newsom, who's charismatic, who speaks with conviction, got the nice slick hairstyle, dresses nice. Like, you gonna put that on stage, like you would take that over Joe Biden? Come on. It's common sense. Republicans, I think, are making a big mistake by having this all out in the open. This should be under wraps in the dark corner somewhere until 2 months before the election. Then they start to come out with little tidbits and pieces and all that sort of thing. And maybe like 2 days before the election, they drop like the really, really deep, stuff or something. I don't know. There needs to be more strategy, in my humble opinion. And it should be closer to the time of the election, because the closer you get to that time, the harder it would be for Democrats to replace Joe. You do it now, they can replace Joe. You can easily implant, Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama or whomever into that position, as far as, the leader of the Democratic Party. Now, it'll be much tougher to do a month out. See what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe is there something I'm missing? Obviously, I've been checking out politics for a little over a year now, but that's not a whole lot of time in the grand scheme of things, and I recognize that. So maybe I'm making a rookie mistake and not really thinking something completely through. You guys let me know in the comment section below, please. And once again, thank you. I really do. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around until the end. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, check out that video right there. You might like it too. Okay? Watch that one to the end, too. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I'm out.